Ladies and gentlemen, the guest of honor, Mr. Greg Kimble!
How you doing, buddy?
The best is yet to come.
You guys good? You guys good? We having fun yet?
You think you've seen the sun, but
I know
you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-ups.
Hey, thank you guys so much for coming. This is oh, there's Mama.
Wait till you see that sunshine day.
You guys ready to have some
ain't
fun?
seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is a pretty humbling experience. When we're sitting up in this room up here, and I'm looking at all of this technology and the equipment, and I've got John and Chase, and they're saying, "Go for lights, go for this, go for that," and I can't help but again think that perception is reality. And what I mean by that is, let's just talk about a little bit about where we are. We're standing in an event center. And 7 years ago, I came here, and I was homeless. But just like everybody out there, I had the labels. I had the labels that said, I'm dyslexic. On a scale from 1 to 60, I found out that I'm 51 dyslexic. I was wondering why it was so hard to get places and read books and this, and that's why Audible books saved my life. They did. They really did. And you know what? These are all labels. Let's just get rid of these labels. Let's get rid of them. Because here's what matters. I'm just a perseverance expert. I just don't quit. And that's the biggest thing that has been different about me. And I've learned a lot along the way. I've made a lot of mistakes. That's the whole reason why I wrote a book. And here's my favorite part about the whole book thing. I've talked to a lot of people because obviously when you write a book, you kind of want to let people know, right? Naturally. Bro, you are 32. Now I'm 33. I'm just saying it's my birthday. Thank you. But they said, bro, what have you done to deserve to write a book? I said, well, you know what? I think everybody has done something where they deserve to write a book. They just didn't write a book. I think that I can help people from the standpoint of not quitting. I think that I can help people from the standpoint of not making the same mistakes that I did. And you know what? Again, we're standing in an event center with a KMG banner up here. And I started out, when I moved to Denver, I was homeless. And now we have 25,000 square feet of space. We have 10 studios. We have a school with almost a student pop of 300. We've got 30 employees and some of my best friends. Now, without each and every one of those people, I couldn't do this. And I had to learn the hard way that it was the people that made me. It wasn't the place, it wasn't the things, it wasn't the labels. But let's kind of take a trip back into time, and let's look at where we've been. Let's look at the old spot. This girl saved my life. Kayla. Let's give it up for Kayla. Let's go back to the other slide. Back to the other slide. Back to the slide. This guy. Look at my dad right there. That's Papa KMG right there. In the book, you are going to see how I messed up beyond, like, if anyone's in the room and you're thinking, hey, I've messed up too far, I have gone too far, there's no coming back from this. I promise you I have messed up worse and more often and probably on a grander scale. Jim's All right, real quick. Jim, stand up just real quick. This guy helped me write my book. He's one of my very best friends. Look at this guy. We got something special for you. He looked at me and said, I need my book, man. We started out as friends, as clients, as people who were just going through some shit together. And then we said, hey, man, this has gotten so crazy, we should probably tell people how to navigate through this kind of stuff. But I couldn't have done this without my family. And my dad, and again, if you get the book, you're going to realize why he shouldn't have taken a 794th chance on me. Because not only did he give me my very first business loan, he was realistically my first business partner to go in there and wage war with me to build a studio. Fabre remembers that studio, The Lodge. He recorded in that studio. Vegas is recorded in that studio. Let's go to the next slide. This is who we were, guys. This is my best studio at the time. It's my best studio. And it was pulled apart because it didn't work, and I was trying to figure it out. This was my best studio at the time. And it was pulled apart because it didn't work. We were trying to figure it out. How many people are going through life right now just trying to say, hey, you know what, my life is pulled apart right now, and I'm just trying to figure it out because it's not working. Everyone is doing that. You're always growing. You know, people are the only thing on the planet where we can actively stunt our growth. Think about it. How tall does a tree grow? As tall as it can. Until you chop it down, it's going to grow. It's going to keep going. Humans, you know what? From a biology standpoint, you grow as tall as you can. But you actively, mentally stunt your growth because you have all this knowledge and information and perseverance available to you, but you're not taking advantage of it. It wasn't until I started taking advantage of it that I realized what I could start becoming, because I'm not finished. Let's go to the next one. This is us. This is me trying to figure out, does it sound good or does it look good? I'm not really sure. My dad putting in work, trying to figure it out just like me. This is what we ended up with. Guys, this is in a strip mall. And this is the original 400 square feet. Remember all those cables that were sitting on the floor, my best studio? That's the same studio. It started out a thought. We just executed. How fast do you move from thinking to doing? That's what you have to understand. Let's go to the next one. These are the labels. They're going to keep you up at night. This is what's going to tell you who you are, what you're supposed to be doing. These are the things that's telling me that I'm homeless, that I'm broken, that I'm dyslexic, that I am not going to be able to do anything. I'm addicted to stuff. Everyone's addicted to stuff. I'm OCD. I'm this, that, and the other. All of these things, good and bad, are going to define you. They're going to define you. And you're going to pay attention to them, and you're going to try to look at yourself, and you're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm this. I'm that. I'm this. I'm that. And you're going to stay up at night, and it's going to wake you up at night, and you're going to stress, and you're going to do this, that, and the other. But I want you to start understanding that the problems, that the labels, that everything in your life is the weights of your life. And when I say the weights of your life, I'm saying, hey, you know what? If you want to be, you're a small guy. I know you, man. Can you bench press 300 pounds? You could bench press 300 pounds. I've seen him do it. That's how I knew. And it's not I'm telling you, it is a coincidence that he's sitting in the front row. But I've known this guy for a long time. He does a lot of the same things that I do. I've got a tremendous amount of respect for him. But also, he is amazing at fitness. And he knows what it takes. So my question is, when you were 10, could you bench 300 pounds? No. What did it take? Time, effort, perseverance, weights. This is just the weights of your life. Labels are the things that are making you better, good and bad. And that's the thing that we need to understand. If something in life decides to kick you in the balls, start saying thank you. Because you're going to be a hell of a lot stronger from that, from something that you plan out and goes the way that you think it should go. You get a hell of a lot more strong from something that you can't do and you persevere through. So let's take off all the labels and let's find out what they make us. Gifted. Everyone's gifted. Every single one of us in this room. Everyone. What did Albert Einstein say? He said, everyone's a genius, right? But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it's going to spend its whole time in life thinking that it's stupid. Yeah. I'm telling you guys, are you guys trying to pay attention and understand things in your life at the right level? Are you a fish and you're meant to swim and you're meant to do these things that no one has seen someone do, like, I don't know, Michael Phelps? But if we judge him on his ability to, I don't know, ride a horse, those jockeys are small. He's built to swim. So you got to find your thing. You got to understand your thing, and then you've got to focus. You've got to persevere. So let's understand, and let's try to figure out why in the hell would I write a book called The Homeless Millionaire? And that's the thing. I have caught so much flack when I wrote that book. I cannot tell you. I'm not kidding. If you guys have seen me start promoting, how many people saw me start promoting the book? Did you guys see me go dark really fast? Yeah, I got death threats. Yeah, I started getting death threats. I'll tell you exactly why. My business partner now, who's one of my very, very, very best friends, and he belongs to a wealthy family. And when I say wealthy family, we're talking the B kind of wealth, not the M kind of wealth. And I was really messed up because I had the haters, and I was getting attacked like there was no tomorrow, and I'm getting attacked, and they're saying this. The top 3 things about me, number 1, I'm a trust fund baby. Mom, am I a trust fund baby? She doesn't even know what that is. But that's the thing. Everyone said there's no way that he can do it because someone else paid for it. Hard work didn't do that. The other thing was, I am Walter White. I am secretly the biggest drug dealer in front of you guys right now, and I am actively showing you, your children, the way to hell. I am literally the world's biggest drug dealer. I've heard that a million times too, because there's no way that this is true. There's no way that hard work works. The other one, and this is my absolute favorite one, I am an FBI agent. This is good, guys. Get ready. This is good. I'm an FBI agent, and the government has given me a ton of money so that I can build a studio and befriend musicians. And then I will find out their illicit dealings and turn them in to the authorities. What? That's creative. That's creative, right? I mean, I'm not even mad. I'm kind of impressed. I mean, I've always wanted to be an FBI agent. I'm just not. So then there's also the time where I just started getting attacked and getting attacked and getting attacked and getting attacked and getting attacked. And I'm not telling you, you can ask every member on my team. Every single one of these guys has seen me cry. I am the most passionate person that you're going to find. I love my team. I love what I do. I care about what I do. And I will do anything for my team, except apparently join the FBI. So I'm crying one day. And he wasn't my business partner at that point, but I knew his situation. And I began to cry, and I said, dude, I don't know what to do when things like this happen, because I can't defend it, because if you start defending it in any manner, people are just going to shine a flashlight on it, and then they don't know what to believe. So I was quiet, and I didn't know what to do. And he said, let me tell you a story about my family. Now, my family is supposedly one of those 3 families in the world that controls everything. Everything. And he said, you can actively look up my family, and you can read that we are actually alien, lizard, vampire people. And he looks at me and he says, now, Greg, we've known each other for a long time. I was a groomsman in your wedding. And I'm just wondering, do you in any way think that I am an alien, lizard, vampire person? I said, I mean, if you've hit it that well, I would appreciate you show me, because I'm kind of interested. He says that those rumors, they've happened for so long that he realized one day, and this was when he was a little kid, he realized one day, he said, it's easier for people to believe in alien, lizard, vampire people than hard work. There's no way it was hard work, so it had to be alien, lizard, vampire people. And it was funny, I was actually talking to my friend Fabre over here, and he asked me one day, and he said, because he's an entrepreneur, he's doing his thing, I know how hard it is, and so I've been kind of a mentor for him. And he's shown me a lot, but there was one time he looked at me, he said, all right, Greg, how did you get from A to B? How did you do that so fast? And I'm like, shit, it was 8 years. I'm not really understanding the fast part, but all right. If you see fast, that's cool. And I said, when you met me, what was I doing? He said, KMG. I said, cool. I said, after you were doing your singing career and you're doing all this stuff and you're making this kind of stuff happen, what were you doing in a year after that? He said, well, I was managing a call service. I said, okay, cool. I'm good with that. I said, a year after that, what were you doing? He said, okay, well, I graduated to like the manager of the call service. And then he was going to do some shoe things. And then he was going to do this. And then he was going to do that. And then he was going to do this. And then he quit his job and started his company. He's doing better than he ever has. Let's give it up for him. But he asked me, how did you do it? And I said, when you met me, what did I do? KMG. Year after that, KMG. Year after that, KMG. 6 months, KMG. Year, KMG, KMG, KMG. I'm like Novocaine. I'm just going to keep pumping into you until it works. You know what I mean? I'm not going to quit. I am going to persevere. And that's the big difference. If you want the magic bullet, if you want the silver bullet, if you don't want to buy the book and you want something that will show you, that will give you everything you need to know right now, I'll give it to you. Here's the secret. After 8 years of hard study and in the trenches and experience and knowledge and wisdom, I'm going to give it to you. Are you guys ready? Don't quit. That's it. Come on, man. So I'm going to give you guys just a kind of a brief rundown of things that I want to hit that I think are really important for this event. And then I'm going to come down there. I'm going to party with you guys because that's important to me too, because it is my birthday. But I'm also coming out with a book, which is crazy to me. I can't tell you guys how insane it is when you drive up to the place that's printing your book and you hold it and you're like, I literally looked over at my wife. I have a book. This is so cool. It really is. It really is. So I'm going to start this story. Why in the world would I write a book called Homeless Millionaire? Homeless Millionaire is a mindset. When I was homeless, I just had to think like a millionaire, okay? When you start generating that kind of cash, the only thing that has to change is you have to start thinking like a homeless person. When you have millions of dollars, you have to stay hungry. You have to put your foot on the gas, and you have to stay frugal. The problem is if someone makes $2,000 and they're used to spending 100% of their income, when they get up to $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, they're used to spending 100% of their income. They're not actually moving forward in life. It took me way too long to learn that. If you're young, please listen to what I just said. Look at money as percentages. Don't look at money as money. Say, what percentage of my money do I spend? Cool, if you make $2,000 and you get a raise, stop spending 100%. Be like, hey, I'm an expert at living at $2,000. Now, if I have $2,500, I'm going to invest $500. If I would have just figured that out sooner, don't just get used to spending all of your money, because you're gonna max yourself out. I went through 13 cars in 1 year. And it's funny, I just spoke to a couple high schools. One of the high schools this guy was literally in one of the high schools, and I said, hey, this is my email. If you email me, I will be there for you. And he said, dude, you've already changed my life. Can I please come to your birthday party? I said, absolutely. I would love to see you. Now, just to show you how cool this is, Jackson Durham, when he came to me, he straight up was, I'm going to out him, a drug dealer, straight up. Woo, look at him. Yeah. And it was funny because he tried to talk to me like that when he came here. And I said, cool, I don't care. And this is how we're going to do it. This is what we're going to do. So the kind of high school that he went to was the alternative high school. If you got kicked out of an alternative high school, that you got kicked out of normal high school. All right? Why in the world would someone want to go speak to that high school? Why doesn't everyone want to go speak to that high school? So my question is, that's the future. That's who we need to really embrace. And when I saw the magic in their eyes, and it was funny because Jackson, he was trying to tell me, hey man, when we go into this, just so you know, this is all the class, this is the worst part of the class clowns, all the class clowns, and they will clown you. They were right here. You want to know why? Because I was kicked out of high school. I have my GED right now. And I'm going to start with that. And just so you know, we have a scholarship in Jackson's name for any alternative high school so that our school is cheaper for them. Let's give that up. Let's bring it full circle. Let's go back to 300-pound bench press. When you go in to high school and you want to be a part of the 300-pound club, trust me, if you're a dude and you can hit 300 pounds, all the girls are like, hey, sneaky peek. So they're trying to get at you. And I'm going to be honest with you, I moved around a lot because I have been, and when I say homeless, I have been homeless with my mother. We have lived in the back of a laundromat. We have lived in a pop-up camper. We have lived in every unimaginable place that you can imagine. But my mom gave me two things. She said, I'm never going to let you go to bed hungry. And we're always going to keep on rolling. And she never lied. She never lied. So I'm 15. And I'm like, all right, I just saw someone do 300 pounds. I said, all right, I'm going to do 300 pounds. There's not a whole lot of 15-year-olds that can do 300 pounds. I'm going to show these guys what's up. I got on the bench. I got ready. Is my form good? It's all right, right? Okay, good? Okay, cool. I grabbed the bar. 300 pounds is so much heavier than you think it is when you're 15. It might as well have been 1 billion pounds because it didn't budge, bless you. It did not, it didn't budge at all. And I said, okay, one day, I'm going to put that weight up. So, bless you again. And so what I did for 2.5 years, now, again, first thing he said, takes time. You got to put the time in. You got to put the effort in. You got to put the work in. 2.5 years, I ate a ton of food. Bless you again. I'll keep getting you. It's all good. I ate a ton of food, and I was in the weight room every single day. And one day, I walked in, and I was feeling pretty good. I was like, all right, this is the day. We're going to make this happen. I've got it. I've got it. You know how you have to kind of pump yourself up before that happens? I'm like, yes, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. All right. So I ran in there as fast as I could, and I saw that 300, it was a little over 300 pounds. A little over 300 pounds was already on the rack, and I walked over just to make sure, and I put a 2.5-pound weight on one side and a 2.5-pound weight on the other side, and I ran under there, and I went, and I got it. I got it. Come on, 300 pounds. That's dope. I did not realize that someone had just set the record. I didn't realize that. And I ran over and beat the record. He got pissed, grabbed one of these, the 2.5-pound weight, and went, boom! Hit me right in the back as I was going to get a drink. I looked back and I said, if we're the two biggest guys in school, why are you throwing a 2.5-pound weight? So I grabbed a 45-pound weight and I said, here you go. Hit him right in the chest, knocked him over, slid up, hit his jaw, and he looked like Predator, knocked his jaw clean off. They frown on that in high school. They do. I can attest. I've been there. I've done it. They frown on it. And they were kind enough to say, all right, you are invited to alternative school. I responded with, I didn't do it. I quit. I dropped out of high school. I'm not going to do it. And I'm sitting around, because it's weird how much time is occupied by school, and then you sit around and you're like, what am I doing with my life? Trying to figure it out. And so I get my GED. By the way, if you can't pass your GED when you're 7, you should probably go to a different kind of school, because it's really easy. Just do it now. It's fine. So I get my GED, and I go to the Conservatory of Recording Arts and Sciences, and I'm pumped. I'm going to go in to a school that looks a lot like this one. I'm in Arizona, and I'm excited. I'm starting my future. I'm going to make it happen. But there was about a 6-month period where I had to do this thing. It's really weird. Also, when you're not in school and your mom and dad are like, cool, you dropped out, you can pay for everything, you have to get this thing called a job. It really sucks, guys, so be careful. So I literally go to Guitar Center, and I start slinging gear. I was pretty good at it. They make me manager. I'm doing all of that stuff. And a guy walks in one day, and he says, hey, man, I would like to buy a studio. Is there any way that this would work? And it was about $50,000. I worked on commission, so yes, absolutely that will work. Let's go right over here. So I sell him $50,000 worth of stuff. He goes to pay for it, and then I said, real quick, since you got an entourage with you, why doesn't he pay for a little less than $10,000? He pay for a little less than $10,000. He pay for a little less than $10,000. Why? Because you have to fill out a form if you spend more than $10,000 cash. And trust me, these were not the guys that you would want to say, hey, we just got to do some government paperwork. It's all good. Let's make it happen. They appreciate that. And so I get a call, and he says, hey, man, we don't know how to hook any of this stuff up. I said, well, I'm in school now, working full-time at Guitar Center. There's no way that I can come there and do that. He said, what if we gave you like, I don't know, $2,500 for the day? What's your address? Let's go ahead and do that, right? Let's make that happen. So I come in, and everyone know what a pallet is? You know the wooden things, forklift, all that good stuff? All right. 4x4x4 of cocaine, of guns, of weed, coke, guns, weed, everything. And I'm like, Mind you, I'm from Wyoming, and I'm like, I've seen this on a couple TV shows. I'm not really sure that I'm in the right spot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a little scared. But hey, it's just one day. I can get him set up. I don't need to get involved in all of that stuff, right? We hook it up, and he says, hey, man, what if you just come back and help teach our engineer? And I said, I'm in school, and I have Guitar Center, and I have any excuse that I can fucking come up with. And he says, what if we just gave you $30,000? I'm sorry, what? Mind you, let's just go back to the fact that my mom and I lived in and I will always remember this, a 1984 Pontiac Sunbird. Now, that made sleepovers kind of awkward. Hey, can we stay at yours tonight, Greg? Mm-mm. What's your family like? What's your mom cooking? Dude, she's cooking Brussels sprouts. Dude, I'm down. Anything they said, I'm down to go there, because you remember. We went through it. And so $30,000 was basically $1 billion to me. So I said, all right, let's do this. So we have everything set up. This guy walks over, and he puts a gun underneath the desk that I'm sitting at, and he looks at me and he goes, just in case. Just in case what? You know, there's some rival gangs, and there's some stuff that stuff in their world is different than mine, just so you know. There's some stuff that happens. And so I said, all right, what kind of stuff? And he says, okay, well, rival gangs will come in and they try to take what we have, because, they had, literally 4 by 4 by 4 pallet wrapped of money as well. It was crazy. I said, all right, I got you. Money was good. I'm retarded. And so I said, let's do this. And so I began to do it. And in my head, I'm psyching myself out, all right, I got this. And I'm from Wyoming. I've shot a gun before. My dad's taken me out, and we've, shot snakes and rabbits and squirrels and cans. People weren't on the list. People were not on the list. So, has anyone ever heard a battering ram taking the door off of something? No? There's always 2 hits. So I'm, and the best thing is I got a 13% in Spanish because I was so good in school. And I'm recording nothing but Spanish music because, just so you know, I'm now the head engineer of the Mexican mob. So they're doing that kind of music. I don't know what they're saying. I mean, it could be literally anything. And so I say, all right, cool, we're doing it. And just so you know, all my engineers in the room, rule number 1, be engaged with your client's music, especially people with a bunch of guns. But still, be engaged. Sit on the edge of your seat, bob your head. It's cool, all right? Just do that. You have to. If I can do that for stuff that I have no idea what they're saying or really like the music, you can do it too. And all of a sudden, I'm just, bah! I kind of look over because what in the heck? Boom! The door comes flying off the hinges and people start shooting. Here's my time to shine, right? I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna crawl underneath the desk and cry like a little girl the whole time. I began to weep uncontrollably and not understand what was going on. Scariest thing in my entire life. I couldn't do it. It was so scary. So scary. I didn't know what to do at that moment. Everything calms down. The people walking around with Uzis handled the business. And I leave. He comes up to my house, which is super awesome having him know where I live. Hey, let's just finish the mixtape. Bro, you just almost had me killed. Would $100,000 do it? Yeah, I do believe it would. I believe that was my exact number that I was thinking. I was going, you know what? What would do it, Greg? $100,000. You got it. Let's make it happen. So I'm back in the chair. But I'm really psyching myself out now. I'm going, all right. I'm telling you right now, someone comes through that door. Boom! It's happening. About a week later, bop! Oh, no, not bop! Oh, God. Okay, so I get back underneath the desk and cry like a little girl. I'm just telling you, when it happens to you, it really is scary. I don't encourage you to try it for yourself. Take my word for it, but it is a scary experience. So I don't know what I'm going to do. So we meet again. And I'm going, dude, I can't do this anymore. I have to leave. And he says, you know what? I'm going to need you to finish the mixtape. And it really didn't sound like a request at this moment in my life. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I am Walter White without knowing it. I don't know. Been in those scenarios. Not fun. And so let's just say that he kindly helps me see why I should do this. I was like, all right. So I'm there. And it happens again, probably 2 or 3 days into it. And I'm going, this time, I'm not kidding. I grab the gun. And I'm going to defend myself because this is crazy. And I point the gun. And I throw the gun at the guy. And I run towards the bullets flying at me, past them, into my car, and I leave. And he shows up at my house the next day. And he looks at me and he goes, Greg, you might not be cut out for this. My thoughts exactly, brother. And this is exactly what I said to him. I looked at him as serious as could be, and I really thought, I'm not kidding, I thought I was about to die. I said, is there any way I could never see you again? I can't do this. And they called me Opie because I was the only white guy around. And he goes, you know what, Ope? We won't bother you anymore. And I walked away from that situation, and I haven't seen him since. But that's some stuff to go through. But there's a lot of things in life where you're going to be tempted with just money. Having money. Now, there's a big difference between having something and being something. Now, I would rather be a rich person than have rich things. You can do that without a big house. You can do that by choice. You can make a concerted effort to just say, hey, I'm a rich person. I'm going to be somebody. But this was an area of my life where through the whole reason why I was homeless, my parents had split up. And it was one of the hardest times of my life because I didn't have a real authority figure. I went to live with my brother, who's 15 years older than me, and he beat the ever-living out of me, mentally and physically. And it was so hard. It was so hard to make something of myself in this environment. So I don't have my dad around. I'm bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. I don't know what to do. And I realize there's only 4 areas of your life. And this is something that has changed my life. Number 1, this is the thing that everybody's going to tell you to be a part of, to have something inside of you. Be safe. Everyone wants to be safe. You have a security blanket. You have that safe person. You want to be safe. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's only one area of your life. Now, it's a great part of your life. Inner peace is one of the best things that you are ever going to achieve in your entire life. The next part, right after that, is struggle. Well, if I was just safe, why would I struggle, right? Because you want something more. So you start to struggle. And you start to struggle, and it's hard, guys. It's so much harder than you think it is. It is so much harder than you think it is. Right after the struggle is the scary part of your life. Safe, Struggle, scary. If you can get to this last part and you can fight through, you get to the special part of your life. And that is where you need to live. That's what you want to do. That is what I have found. And the thing that kind of brought everything together for me, one of my very, very, very best friends in life is actually my lawyer, Robert Keating. Are you here, by the way? This guy. The thing that brought everything together for me, he calls me up one day because not only are we kind of like kindred business spirits, because let's just say there's more than a few times he'll call me up, hey, Greg, this is going to be a hard conversation. And you remember that? I'm gonna need you to, like laundry list of stuff. And I'm like, wait, I have to do that? Yeah, you have to do that. So we've made it through the struggle, scary part of our relationship, and we've gotten to a special part. And it all happened on one trip to Wyoming, where I was born. He called me up and he said, I want to go see the eclipse. Are you down? And I said, super down. I love it. Celestial bodies. He had just had a baby. Celestial babies. I mean, this is awesome, guys. Let's make this happen. So we take this journey, my wife, his beautiful wife, and his two beautiful kids. And we're watching this experience. And I didn't realize that this experience was going to bring everything together for me. This is what the final percent is. This is why the final percent is so important to me. And it's the thing that I think answers everything. We're watching this celestial amazement. Just, it's incredible. Like, it's, unless you're there, I don't know how to describe it. But here's the best way to describe it if you're not there. I'm sitting. It takes about an hour and a half. You have to wear really stupid, cheap glasses that you probably bought for $50 because you weren't prepared. And it's an hour and a half, and everyone gets really excited right when they see the moon start getting in front of the sun. But you're looking behind glasses. It doesn't really look that cool, and it takes forever. And you're looking, hour and a half, and you're looking, hour and a half, and you're looking. I mean, it's just, honestly, I was like, I'm glad that we brought a radio, and I have some great friends to share this with, because through the glasses, it's not really doing it for me. 99% of this thing is happening, and I take off my stupid glasses, and I still can't see anything. I can't. Nothing. It's the sun. You can't stare at it. Despite what anyone will tell you, don't do it. But what happens is that last percent happened. That last and final percent. And I took off my glasses, and there's a glowing orb in the sky. And the temperature drops by probably 25, 30 degrees, and it looks like it's nighttime. So my question to you, when you were watching it, because I came back, and this is what put it all together. I came back, and I asked people in Denver, did you watch the eclipse? They said, yes. It was awesome. I said, dude, you went to the totality? They said, no. I just stepped outside my door. We had 98%. And I said, oh, you didn't see anything. You don't understand what I went through. And I realized that life and the way that you operate, the way that you execute, everything that you do, life is the same exact way. The exponential part of life, the thing that's going to turn you into everything that you can and should become, is in the final percent. So if you're sitting here and you're like, I'm pretty bad. I'm 95% of who I can be. I'm not impressed. That just means you're close. If you're at 99%, I'm telling you that the difference between 99% and 100% is everything. The thing that is so hard for people to go through is because as it goes up, when you're at 90% and it goes up to 99%, it's an it's the law of diminishing returns. It gets exponentially harder with every percent that you attack. And I'm telling you, go to the very, very end. You can make it happen. This book is about mindset. This book is about, and just so you know, when you guys watched my original video, the very first shot of me is right next to a trash can. And for 1 year, almost 1 year, I lived next to that trash can. I was literally homeless when I moved here. And it's not that I wanted to live next to a trash can. It's not like that's the most fun thing on the planet. I wanted the best view of the mountains. And I wanted to wake up every single day and realize that I'm small. And realize that I need to be humble. And realize that I have something to conquer. And realize that the world is so much bigger than I thought and that I realized. I wanted to realize every morning that I was in a new place from where I was. And these mountains grounded me. They showed me who I could be. And now, I've got a couple of my neighbors here, and they can attest to it. Our houses probably have the best view of the mountains. That flyover shot is my actual house, and when you see the mountains, that's what I wake up to every day. The thing that you need to realize is it's no different than what I woke up to every day when I was living next to a trash can. Because perception's reality. Perception is everything. You can think anything, and you can make everything. You guys can do it. That's why I wrote the book. I wrote the book because so many people would say, you shouldn't write a book. Okay. You're going to have doubters. You're going to have haters. You're going to have people say, what you're doing isn't of worth. They're just saying that that's not what they would do with their time. They're just saying that what they do is that what you do is not of worth to them. Just be who you are supposed to be. You've got to believe. Belief is bidirectional. And belief won't show up unless you do. And that's why I say stop waiting on the lottery ticket. Start realizing that you are the lottery ticket. And every single day, anything that you try, win or lose, the sun's still going to come up tomorrow. So don't worry about anything. Win or lose, sun still comes up tomorrow. You're still going to have to endure that day. This is The Homeless Millionaire. This is the book that I put my heart and soul into. My guys, my team, you're going to read about them in the book. 3 years ago, when we were trying to make the realistically pilgrimage up to this place, they were homeless with me. The biggest, and it's funny, when I was standing up in AV, I looked at everyone and I said, this is what makes me realize I have the best people around me in the world, that I could literally change our business model to be door-to-door napkin salesman, and we would be successful because I have the best people. Things are not what matter. People matter. My wife, she's been my rock. Ashley Kisner, she's been my rock. Mitch Zonnefeld. Everyone in this room knows Mitch. There's no way you don't. Come on. Give Mitch a round of applause. Zach Markle is another one of those people who have changed, another one of those people who has changed my life day in and day out. The people who stand with you when you are your worst. And trust me, I have tested these people and I've been my worst. The people who stand with you when you are your worst will make you your best. I have the best people. When you read the book, you're going to hear about so many people. Austin Yule. He was the best man at my wedding. He flew in. I said, hey, man, I'm just thinking about maybe, probably, kind of. And he's like, I bought my plane tickets. He's on his way. And he's been that way. When you guys, if you've listened to the podcast or you read the book, he's the C800 guy. He's the guy who believed in me more than I was even able to believe in myself at that time. John Gillette. He's one of those people who just push you to being something that you didn't even think that you could be yourself. And he's someone who will believe in you. He's someone who will strive with you, will run with you, will pull you, will push you, will hold your hand, will kick you in the ass. And he's always been that way.
Roll Tide.
Everyone who knows John knows that Roll Tide. So he's been one of those people who has stood by me through thick and thin. We went on a hiatus, but that's just because we both needed to mature. And now we're back and we're better than ever. More people who've stuck with me. Chase Thompson, one of the most amazing people that I've ever met. If he doesn't know it, he will learn it. And he's not one of those guys who I kind of want to learn it, I want to master it. Jeffrey Tanner, he is like that cool guy. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. He's that cool guy. Rob Gedalian was one of our first real students. And he changed everything because Fat Stallion knows better than anybody that, shout out Fat Stallion. These guys are always there for me. They know better than most people. I tend to spread myself a little thin. It's happened. I'm aware of it. Working on it. I try to go big, and I don't want to go home, so I keep working. But Rob was one of our first students, and he came to me and he said, I need more. I know that you guys can do better. I've seen what you're capable of, and I know that you can do more. That really impresses me. He works with us to this day, and he's an instrumental part of our team. I love that guy dearly. Rob Keating. Most of this is not possible without him putting the nails in the coffin and helping me bury these bodies. He's like, I'm a lawyer. Please don't use that terminology. Sign this waiver. But he's like, bro, you can't do that anymore. You can't do that. I need you to do this, do this. What? Trying to understand me, but taking the time to being a friend, being realistically a business partner, being someone who fights the battle day in and day out with me. We would have never been approved without his guidance and his thoughts and his love and his effort. And now I just have another freaking awesome friend. So I'm getting the wrap it up sign. Sorry. This is a big moment for me, guys, and you guys are like, I'll skip to the most important people, and that is my parents. My mom, you're going to learn that my mom and I went through a lot of things, and every time, because my parents were divorced for a good bit of my life and my adolescence and my development, and she had a boyfriend who did not want me to sing. He did not want me to do anything, and he abused my mother. He hit my mother. He beat my mother. And she would still tell him to shut up anytime he'd tell me to shut up because she wanted me to sing. And she said, Greg, you don't ever sing a song. You feel a song. And I want you to feel music as often and as much as you can. I'm never going to forget that. She has had my back through thick and thin. She always will. To my father, who once told me, you know, Greg, you've messed up so much that when it comes to money, we are no longer related. If you get your ass in a sling, do not call me. And that was the best thing he could have told me at that moment. And trust me, I'm a pretty good salesman. I tried to get money. And he would just hang up the phone. And then one day, he saw this crazy vision and this crazy dream called KMG. And he said, let's do this. And he had my back. And he has fought with us again in the trenches like no tomorrow. And if anyone has had a conversation with me, there are so many times that I have said, you know, my dad used to say, you know, my dad once told me. You know, my dad, he's one of, my parents are my heroes. And And my parents are now back together and have been for a little over 10 years. I quickly realized that, you know what, for better or worse, you guys belong to each other. I'm just saying. And yeah, you guys do deserve each other. And now they're back together, and I have my teammates back. And I love them. I really do. I really do. And the very most important person in my entire life, my entire existence, the person who has grounded me, the person who has made me who I am, who helped unlock the part of me that was me, is Kayla Kimble. I owe her everything. Kayla, where are you? There's a book in AV, and I think it's only fitting that none of this is possible without Kayla, that she gets, now we have numbered every single book and signed every single book. We only made 150. 151. She gets 0 of 150. Kayla, where are you? Come over here. Does someone have a pen so I can sign it? I wanted to sign it in front of you guys. Mitch is always going to be there for you. He's the best guy ever. This is for you, sweetheart. I love you. All right, guys. I think he wanted a picture, sweetheart. Can you come back up here? Like, literally, right when I came over here, Casey was like, Kayla's the rock. She's the key. She's everything that any man could want and a hell of a lot more. I'm telling you right now, I'm so lucky I did not get my dream girl, because Kayla is about 1 billion steps above that. So, without further ado, John, what do you want me to do right now? I'm just talking about how much I love everybody.
Quick roll tide, and we're going to photos.
All right, I think we're going to, if you want to book, we're going to do some photos and everything, and then we're going to party and have my birthday. Also, guys, if you did buy a book through the book funnel, it is one of these launch edition books, just so that you know. We got the price back for the limited edition run of hardcovers, and I was like, So it was literally over $10,000. So, and my kind of crappy deadlines, I needed it in like, I don't know, a week. So they were like, well, to make this happen, we can do it. And I'm like, all right, cool. The other ones are good. So I just want you guys to know everyone is numbered, so everything's serialized. This is a big thing for us, and I've signed every single copy. I'm the luckiest guy in the world that these kind of people would show up for my birthday, would show up for a book launch, and just see who I am. And I'm telling you, when Jim and I sat at Starbucks countless hours, day in and day out, I mean, we bared it all. You're going to find out a lot of stuff about me where you're going to be like, I'm just saying, man, I'm just like you. I just told everybody. And I'm telling you, it doesn't get easier. You get stronger. Because when I was 17, guys, and I set that record, when did that weight get lighter? I got stronger. I got stronger. Thank you guys so much. Let's hang out.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine? You think you've seen the sun, but you ain't seen it shine.